Ever since Generation 2 of Pokemon, 4 main alternate weather conditions could appear in the overworld or be summoned that would change the conditions of battle: rain, harsh sunlight, sandstorm, and hail. However, starting in Generation 9, the condition of hail has been replaced with snow, which has noticeably different effects than hail did. So why did Pokemon make this change? One thing to look into is how hail and snow form in real life, which are two pretty different processes. Disclaimer, I am by no means an expert in meteorology, I just looked up this information for the purposes of making this video. Hail typically occurs alongside thunderstorms in the spring and summer, while snow typically occurs in very cold weather during winter or possibly other seasons depending on the climate. For hail, the updrafts of thunderstorms carry water droplets high into the clouds, where they freeze and gather more layers of ice until they are heavy enough to fall. Snow, on the other hand, is formed when freezing atmospheric temperatures cause water vapor and clouds to freeze directly into small ice crystals, which then fall to the ground. In real life, since hail takes the form of hard ice pellets, it can cause damage on impact, just like hail in Pokemon damaged all types except ice. Since snow falls in flakes and builds up once it touches the ground, it is far less likely to do damage on impact, and snow in Pokemon doesn't do any kind of damage to any type, only boosting the defense of ice-type Pokemon by 50% during its duration. Far more ice-type Pokemon moves are inspired by snow than hail, such as Powder Snow, Avalanche, and Blizzard. Multiple abilities exclusive to ice types also reference snow rather than hail, most notably Snow Warning, Snow Cloak, and arguably Slush Rush. When hail occurs in the overworld in Pokemon games, it is usually in places covered with snow or which are otherwise noticeably very cold. As I explained, although hail and snow both form from frozen water, they are unlikely to occur side by side in the real world. Thunderstorms that produce hail almost never occur in temperatures that are low enough to produce snow. So, as for why Pokemon changed hail to snow, it just makes more sense because snow is more common in the real world due to the conditions that produce it being more common. All snow really requires is freezing temperatures, while hail requires the combined conditions of the correct type of cloud, thunderstorm, and updrafts which carry droplets high enough into the cloud that they become hailstones. I know what you might be thinking. The Pokemon world is not the real world, so why does it have to work like the real world? Harsh sunlight can occur in the overworld at night, after all. That choice is ultimately up to the developers. Perhaps they saw people pointing out the inaccuracies of how Pokemon games portray hail and got tired of it after 7 generations. Alternatively, or perhaps additionally, the developers may not have wanted their games to be giving people inaccurate information, leading people to believe that hail occurs when it snows when that is not the case in reality. Hail can seem like a scary thing, and Game Freak may not have wanted younger players thinking there was a chance of it happening anytime it snowed and becoming afraid of that. Since the franchise is aimed at younger audiences, the developers probably wanted it to be at least somewhat educational. Some Pokemon fans have responded negatively to the change of hail to snow. Some seem to think snow is boring compared to hail, perhaps because snow tends to be more common in real life. Some have criticized that a 50% defense boost for ice types is less of an advantage than being the only type immune to hail damage was. Sandstorm, for example, boosts the special defense of rock types while also damaging all types except rock, ground, and steel. Ice types, after all, have 4 weaknesses while their only resistance is their own type, and as of the addition of the fairy type in Generation 6, they are no longer the only type super effective against dragon types other than the dragon type itself. However, I still maintain my own opinion that the snow weather condition as it appears in Pokemon games makes more sense than hail, and that snow still gives ice types a unique advantage, even if it is less apparent. So what do you think? Why do you believe Pokemon changed hail to snow between generations 8 and 9? Do you like the change? Dislike it? or are you neutral? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. I've got other videos on Pokemon and lots more on other games and media, so be sure to check those out and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.